Hello, good evening. Welcome back to our channel, Drummond Geometry, and we're going to take a look at how the targets unfolded today. And we're looking at the Holy Grail software. If you're not familiar with the Holy Grail, I will post a link to a free seminar that we did. It's on our website. You can take a look at that and you can start to make sense of what we're talking about here, and you can find out why we call this thing the Holy Grail. If you go back to yesterday's update, you'll see that these are two of the four targets that I had put on, and that's those are coming from the daily chart, and also it had a weekly envelope bottom in there. And this one here corresponded to the daily PL dot. So what we're going to focus on are these two bars here, these two rectangles. The rectangle on the right is the 5-minute chart, and see this bar breaking through, closing above the oncoming. And you know, these bars here were running into a wall, but that was before the market opened, so we'll take that with a grain of salt or a pinch of sand or whatever you want to call it. And this bar here breaks through our target area, and then this bar closes down below the target area. Okay, and that was the PL dot. So we broke through the oncoming, closed way up here, and now price was retained in the oncoming. And what was going on the 5-minute chart that would let us know that we could expect this bar coming up? So now moving over here onto the right, the 5-minute chart, and we can start to see this wall forming, and prices contained in the oncoming, wall moves up a little bit, but prices are still pretty much contained within the oncoming. And then we get this move up here, and make it a little clear here. This bar here stops at the oncoming, and then the next bar closes down. And where does it close? It closes down right in the airbag. That green line we call the airbag, and this cyan mark, that's called the pivot line, and that is the 50% mark between this oncoming and this oncoming up here. So we close down below the 50 or the pivot point, and then the next bar, the pivot point shifts up above price and closes down. So at this point, we know the price going up, or the market moving up, is finished for the near term in this instance. Okay, and we can go short on this bar, or we can go short as this bar is closing, because we know it's closing down below the pivot line, and we know our stop can go up in this area. If you're even tighter, you can go right above the previous high. And the market started to head south. Okay, now back over here on the left-hand side, the 30-minute chart. So that was the bar where the market closed at the resistance point. So it exhausted into the daily PL dot and started pushing down, 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 and right into this area, which is 7:30 in the morning on my chart. Hawaii is 6 hours behind New York. Now we can take this 5-minute chart and we can start to see how we knew when this move down had finished. We see the 5-minute chart starting to build a wall again. We see price being contained inside the oncoming, and then price moves back up inside the airbag and closes, not quite above the pivot line, and this one does. So at some point in this area, let me just highlight this. This is where we know that this move down is over for the time being, and whether or not you want to reverse and go long, that's a matter of your trading preference. But I just want to illustrate how, you know, the Holy Grail, using the 5-minute and the 30-minute combination, using the targets picked off the daily chart, was able to show us a pretty solid move up and a pretty solid move back down. And then, of course, the market did continue back up from this point into the close. So now looking ahead to tomorrow, there's the 1-1 high. There's the envelope top for the daily PL dot. And this is the weekly envelope bottom and the daily 1-1 low. So at this point, we're wondering what's going to happen first. Are we going to go up here to a target, or are we going to come down here to a target? And taking a look at the daily chart, you can see the PL dot swinging, and now we're up above the PL dot. So the daily trend is turned up. And we can kind of glean a couple of things from the Drummond lines also. So there's a 5-2 down, and also roughly in this area is a 6-1 up. So basically the range is being defined in this area. And we're going to have to pay attention going through the overnight market if you're trading the overnight market. Or the idea is to wait and see how this shakes out, and then in the morning where this market is and taking a look at it in relation to these resistance area, and then starting to watch this Holy Grail on the 5-minute and the 30-minute, and where the market's running into resistance or support, where the wall is forming. You know, this is a wall. See where the wall is forming, and then where price is going in relation to the pivot line. So that's taking what we did with yesterday's targets and showing how it unfolded today, and now, or I'm sorry, it was the targets I put out yesterday, and then seeing how they unfolded today. And now taking that forward, you can start to use this Holy Grail software, or understand how this Holy Grail software is telling us when these turning points are coming. So again, if you're not familiar with the Holy Grail, you're interested in it, I'll post a link to the free seminar on the Drummond Geometry website. Please take a look. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments section. Well, thank you for watching. Good trading, everyone, and we'll see you again next time.